Hello and welcome to this channel. Today we are looking at the singing voice, and this is going to be the part 1 of this series. It's important that you understand things as you're beginning to study your voice, things that you should be paying attention to and developing from stage to stage. And so we're going to look at the elements that are important in a singing voice. Now, a singing voice is characterized by several key elements, including tone, range, vocal control, breath support, and pitch accuracy. These are things that you should watch out. There is tone present in it, and you pay attention to tonality and how you use your voice in making sure that your tones are accurate. Now, next one is range. Every voice has a range. There is a limit to how you can go in height and in depth. There is a capacity for each voice. There are things you can do. There are others which, because of your vocal range, you could not do. And so you are not expected to sing or to force yourself beyond your range. That will not be healthy for your voice. Then, vocal control. Vocal control is the thing that you as a singer ought to understand. But if you don't understand how to control the voice, there could be possible damages that could happen because you are trying to exert your voice without proper control. There are elements that are important in controlling the voice. The next one is breath support. Breath support has to do with the breathing in mechanism, understanding how to breathe in, and understanding how to manage the breath that you take alongside the singing. That is the breath support. The way to breathe in, the way to breathe out. They are very important part of your singing. And pitch accuracy. The accuracy of your pitch is going to be determined by how much you are able to hear and understand your pitch. Let's look at them one after the other. The tone. The tone is the individuality of the sound, with its character being unique and different. The uniqueness of the tone, the difference between the tone of a violin string and the sound of the piano, the difference between the tone quality of a trumpet to that of a saxophone. Now, when we talk about tone characteristics, the characteristics of tones are important because it helps us to know that we all are not supposed to sound the same. You are not supposed to sound like me, and I'm not supposed to sound like you. Each of us has our different vocal characteristics, and each having its own characteristics of voice is supposed to be unique. Now, the uniqueness of individual voices makes us having a gift that is individual to us. Your voice is a gift to you, and you are supposed to work on your voice and make it that type of voice that I should want to listen to. Until we begin to work on our voice to make it what we want others to hear, it will still be untrained, raw voice. Now, someone can come up and say, I want to sing. But because you have not worked on your voice, that's why I told you in the introductory video that voice training is a process. And you have to go through the process of working, smoothing out the voice until the refinement happens to the point that you are able to bring it to the shape and to the position it's supposed to be. So you need to work on your voice and shape it through different exercises until it comes up to what it's supposed to be. You may be in the choir, you may be in the band, but if you don't take out time to work on your singing voice, you may not go beyond what you have time to do in the choir. Maybe the rush in, the rush out time that you have, the few time you have to do rehearsals with the choir or the music band you work with, and that's all you do. But for you to be the singer you want to be, for you to be the type of singer that you want to be, you need to work on your voice. Working on your voice, working on your tone quality, working on your range. Because without you taking out time to work with a voice coach, as we are doing now, you may not be able to realize your full range. You may be working with your voice partly, but the range you may not understand. The range you may not explore. It's until you take out your time and work with exercises that explores your range, that opens up your range from the top to the bottom. It is only then that you are able to realize the full range of your voice. I have worked with various artists, and I discovered that in working with them, they were able to discover their voice and began to do the things that they could not do ordinarily being in a singing group and maybe in a band. So working with a voice coach will help to open up the possibilities of your own personal voice, your own individual voice. And it is very important that you do it. Now, the factors of vocal control. Vocal control is when you are able to manage the volume of your voice. You sing and your voice has volume, and you're supposed to understand how to use your volume in singing. As you are using your volume, is part of the vocal control. As you are using the breath to support your voice, is part of the vocal control. And your pitch accuracy as well is part of the vocal control. As you go to the high pitch, as you come to a low pitch, as you are in the mid-range of your voice, those are part of the vocal control. For example, if you look at the screen now, you'll be seeing an image that presents to you the different ranges of the voice. You will see the range going from C2 up to C6. That is showing you a typical range of the human voice, that you could hear someone sounding this pitch based on the capability of their vocal range. Now, anything that is below C3 is already a very low frequency. The C4 is in the mid-range. Between C4 and C3, you could get the low voice, what we could look at and characterize as the chest voice. Between C4 and C5, you could get what we call the mixed voice, even up to the F5. Then when you go beyond F5, you are already getting into the high range. So we could say that between F5 and C6, we have the high range. Between the C5 and the E3, we are having the medium or the middle range of the voice. And between the E3 and down to C2, we are having the low range of the voice. Now, our voices are characterized with different pitches: the high pitch and the low pitch. If you look at the screen here now, you'll be seeing the ranges of the voice. We have the bass range, we have the sub bass, we have the mid bass, and then we have the mid range. We have low mids, we have the center mids, we have the upper mids, and then we have the high. We have where we call presence, and then we have the place we call brilliance. Now, if we check these frequencies that we're talking about here, this is what you could see obtained in a singing voice: the mid bass, and between the mid bass you have 70 to 200, 70 hertz to 200. That's the mid bass. For a singing voice, you may not get the sub bass. The sub bass is too low for a human voice to be producing. The sub bass. The mid bass is where the human vocal could be able to access. Then after that, from 300 to 2K up to the end of 4K, a place we could call the mid-range of a voice, and that is typically where you seem to sound more comfortable in this range of the mids. We need this to sound more comfortable even in the speaking voice or in the singing voice. From 4 kilohertz to 20 kilohertz, we have the highs, and these are where the sound gets really brilliant. The presence comes out very shiny, very audible, very much high. These are the ranges of the sopranos. Number one, the high. We could say that in those high ranges we have our head voice. Then in the mids, we could say in those mid ranges we have our mixed voice. Then in the bass, we could say that in that bass place, that bass range, that we have our chest voice. But subject to your range, it's how much you can go with all these ranges. And so it's important for you to discover your own personal range and be able to use it as you try to train your voice. It's important that you know these things. If you are new to this channel, please, we urge you to like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell as well, so that you'll be notified when other videos are up, because it is the things that you know that you work with and take yourself to the level you're supposed to be. Until we come your way again, keep practicing, keep singing, and bye bye.